See, it's a good team.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We got episode 48 of Chart Talk here.
Think so?
We got some market outlook, some member charts, all that good jazz for you this week. Bennett, how's it going?
I'm doing good. Just
Doing
waiting on the new mic to come in.
Man, it wouldn't be a week if we didn't have electronical issues.
That's very true.
Man.
Year in, we still can't figure it out.
Yeah, well, maybe year two. It's gonna happen. All right, you want to jump right in market outlook?
Do it.
Let's jump. All right, so market outlook. So we pivoted at a very important support area last Monday, and that began the 4-day run higher. And then we got another green day yesterday, 5 days up. So now we're just kind of seeing a reactionary move. We've seen this range-bound market all year, and now we're cooling off a bit. I think it's really easy to see what's going on with the NASDAQ. Let me get these lines out of here. So we can see this uptrend that's intact, and this is been the key to the market. We saw this happen. This pivot happened last Monday, and we got super long. And then I felt that was pretty much the opportunity to buy. And then I haven't done much in the past 3 days because I'm expecting a pullback. I'm expecting a pullback to the bottom end of this uptrend range in the NASDAQ. And that's what I'm going to look for longs again. Is it going to be 1 day, 2 days? I don't know. But, this pattern is just super, super obvious at this point where it's just we test the bottom end of the channel. And some extreme buying happens. We get a crazy run, go to the top end of the channel, then we weaken up, and people are like, is the top in, not realizing we're just literally in this rising channel. I don't know. It seems pretty simple to me. What about you, Ben? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I literally have almost the same identical drawn out chart for
so
the
perfect.
NASDAQ.
Yeah, literally.
So
It's
trends are
super obvious. It's like you buy when if you see that pivot hold, you load up on your stocks then, and I'll let you talk.
Well, I mean, that was the only thing that I'd like to add on to. If you want to pull up that BDC chart, so we're talking about individual sectors, consumer staples hasn't been as extended as we're talking about compared to the NASDAQ the last couple of days, where we could look for some consumer staple stocks that could potentially break out of the flag that has been forming in that sector for the last couple of months.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing I want to add regarding the market outlook.
Cool.
So if you want, we'll jump into the member ideas.
Let's jump in. Fuck it.
So we got Ben McMullen's looking at GRMN through 99.
VRMN?
GRMN, Garmin.
Oh, Garmin, GRMN. Oh, that's
Not-
a nice flag. Yeah, I mean, this is a decent flag. I really have no qualms against this. Stays strong right now. We had a weekday today, so I mean, above this area looks good. I'm not really trying to buy breakouts right now. We've just been doing so well with the support buys and things like that that these just don't seem as sexy right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, the chart looks good. I have nothing. There's nothing negative to really say about this chart.
Then next we have Anish is looking at FSLR
For solar.
through that 54 half.
I mean, yesterday was the day. Shout out Higgins. I mean, someone else called this out, and Higgins was just like, "Oh, I'll buy that first solar." He made like $7,000 doing it. But the 5150 was the spot to me yesterday. That was that first entry. I get it. The inside day below the level looks okay, but the real out is the low of at least the low of this day, 50-50. So I don't really want to buy first solar at 54 and give it a 50. It's too much in that name. But keep watching. It looks like it goes higher. I mean, that had a really strong day yesterday.
Yeah. Next we have Chris Moore. He's looking at PGNY.
Oh God.
27.
Fuck this thing. Let me see weekly. Yeah, it looks okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't know with this one. It's a tricky name, and this one tricked us the whole way. So looks okay. It's just kind of grinding back and forth, not holding any really true patterns or support resistance levels. So it's just chopping around to me. So I would probably head towards other ones.
The next up, he's looking at this Arnia, ARNA, up through 66.
Arena Pharmaceuticals.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I like this flag. This is a really nice flag at highs, yeah. And where's he saying 66?
Yeah.
66. Yeah, all right, so through today's high, so the real pivot right here is this 67 area, and then 67.50. So any of those areas, you just got to see volume through that area. But this is the best looking one we've seen, I think.
All right. And then he has two quick questions. He goes, one, how many charts do you look at a day?
You know what Arnold Schwarzenegger used to do?
What's that?
He didn't count his push-ups. He just did it till he was tired.
So do you do you scan charts till you're tired?
Till I'm fucking tired, bro. Till I made enough money.
Um,
There's no. You look at 100 charts every day. You're gonna become a great trader. No, just keep fucking putting in work. Just keep putting in work.
there we go. And then his other question was, what is your criteria for the stocks you look, like the charts you look through?
It depends because there's so many different types of buys we have. You know, we have support buys, we have breakout buys, buys out of consolidation, things like that. So each one has their own, certain criteria. This one I like a lot. This Abbott ABT right here. This is a really nice support buy we had this week. We saw it push through this support level and then reverse here on this June 25th date, and we had such a tight entry. That we're over 5-to-1 risk reward type thing. So like in a support buy, I look for it to take out that support level and reverse back higher, and that's what we did in this one. But it's kind of a broad question.
Okay. And then Chris, on my end, for how many charts, all the sectors every day, always Dow 30, always S&P. So at minimum 500 plus charts a day. Again, every single day.
And then
Chris,
those numbers up.
I'm just saying, like, at least those are the three key ones I'm going to always look through. Then again, there's going to be I have a prior trade watch list of all the trades we put on the last year. I have, the watch list of every stock, so I'm just saying those are the main ones that I'm going to hit every single day. And then the other ones, if I want to do more, I'll do more. Regarding criteria, as long as it's above $30 a share, and it's usually not a recent IPO, those are the two key things I tend to focus on. Let's see, for Alex Smith, he's looking at American Express through this 97, 98 area.
That shit looks like a short to me.
Yeah, so I've actually been, and I picked up some with him up through 96, but I have a stop below 92 because it just looks like a bear flag.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a lot of these names that have gotten beaten up and kind of recovered, and we saw with today's reversal. I could just name a lot of stocks like this, like American Airlines, same chart. Boeing has that same chart. So, that this is kind of a factor of the market. If the market wants to pivot here and go higher, all these names probably work out. If the market wants to pull back, I bet all these names get smoked through this level.
Yeah. Let's see what else he's looking at. Looking at DG through that 192 area.
It just needs more sideways. Looks a little exhausted to me. We can tell with these two last red days. I just think it needs more sideways. Nice little run from this 140, but I don't want to buy this one up here yet. I get it, bull flag, top right corner, but just more sideways.
Mm-hmm. And then the last one he's looking at is this Gilead, GILD through 78.
I was looking at this one this weekend. I'm kind of, it's a tricky name because with everything coronavirus related and they're trying to make a vaccine, they're such a news stock, they're so news driven at this point. So I think the chart looks great above this pivot. What do you say, 78?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, I mean, above that 78, it technically looks good. I just don't know because this name is so news driven. And like pharmaceuticals and biotechs, they have so many different like phase trials, and there's always something in the news. So if you don't follow these names very closely and it becomes a very hot name like this Gilead, I just kind of avoid it personally.
Yeah. Next we got Craig, and again, this question is from yesterday. So today was kind of showing that exact example. He was looking at LMT, and he was looking, the 360 support buy, and fast forward to today, that's a perfect example of kind of how the market reacted and why we don't try to buy on support on the way down. We want to see it hold and kind of turn back up. Kind of shows that little H.
Right. There are a lot of patterns out there that look like this right now. It's like a name testing some big resistance because the market kind of turned around today to the downside. So, we're seeing a lot of these support buys that are probably going to end up looking like shorts if the market continues lower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think with that, we can jump into some of the good trade, bad trade. If you want to start with Mandy, his GDS trade. I'm going to pull that chart up.
GDS, all right. Oh, it's a beast trade. Believed. All right, this is a great trade. So, it was a beast trade. Is it daily?
Yeah, it's a daily.
So pretty much they're buying it down here. Believed / confidence in the name. That's funny. It's funny because you always have the most conviction when you're talking about like wins you've had. You're like, I was so fucking confident in this name. I knew it was gonna go.
Yeah.
So where did he start buying? He started buying this day. Let me get some circles out here. Bought down here against the support level. Added down here, and then bought another one on the way up, and just kind of held onto this thing. Just moved like beast trailing stop game, and then started taking some off into this when I saw this hammer and this kind of flag up here. And very great risk reward. Their average price is probably like 57.50, stop at 55, and they're selling at 82. So it's a good ass risk reward there. What is that, 10 to 1 or so?
Yeah, looks like it. I think for now, if you got anything left, if you were you say what 76 stop and just let the rest.
Yeah, just let it work and try to build out a flag for the next phase. But it looks like it's going to need some time to make that next move. So like what I would personally do here is kick the stock, like, first 2/3 of the stock. And just book that profit, and then let that last third go. The stop under 76, and just kind of let it try to work for you. We're on to the next one though. ENPH is this?
Yeah, this is
I'm
next
just gonna
trade.
leave this chart up then, because I've been trying to freak it on the other chart. But all right, so we can see this level here. What is this? 38, 40 level. They bought here. The one thing I don't like, I hate all these buy, like this buy on this day. So the third buy, you see what I'm looking at? The third buy, I don't really understand that buy. Way past the level, seems like a chasing buy, and then the next day you kind of kick that, I guess, at highs. But that part of the trade was very unnecessary to me. I don't know what the sizing was like. I like this ad after it pivots. So all right, first buy, good. Second buy, good. Third buy, bad. Fourth buy, good.
Hate, 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 hate. Double hate. Loathe entirely.
The third buy you're chasing. The fourth buy is a pivot ad. It pivots off that, turns it into new support, that resistance, and then he's kicking on the way up. So that's all good. I hate that buy, as I mentioned. And then that's not a bad trade. So their bad trade was kind of like they thought that support was put in. Then they're buying over the previous day high, and then they just got stopped out. It's kind of the similar trade that worked out here. It just didn't work out. But I don't think it's a bad trade. You see this kind of descending resistance area. What do you think?
I mean, I like I'm with you on the first trade. I'm with you on the second. That buyback, that third one just seems like it just didn't seem necessary.
Yeah.
Like there really nothing there. It was just like him trying to sneak back in.
Okay.
But again, he knows what to do. He put the bad trade. But, yeah.
All right, we're on to NKLA.
Who did
this one?
David Kibler. That's his
right.
trade.
All right, so this is great. So pretty much he's buying into the consolidation here. He's kicking into strength. Looks like he got stopped out of some break even. Bought back on the support, kicked into strength here. Got stopped out the rest break even. I mean, that's great.
Yeah,
This name actually absolutely died too. So, he made money long in this name. That's good. Can't be mad at that. The thing's already back at 40. Oh my God, that was a sick short. Someone was calling out in the chat too how it was a short. All right, we're on to the next one. Tesla.
That's Nicholas and Audi. That was his trade in Tesla.
Okay, where'd he buy? So he did buy this over 1,000. Wow, that's sick. I mean, this is only going to happen in Tesla, and this is like only happening like once in a lifetime that you're making fucking 20% in 2 days on a name that's up 600% on the year. But I mean, that's Tesla for you, so you can't knock it. So he bought this flag. You saw that it was holding a flag over 1,000. It's a psychological level. We have the same similar trade where it's like if a name's flagging over 100, the psychological level is 100, so it makes the setup more attractive. But this, nothing, no qualms against this. He bought it against support here, this new support area, and kicked into strength. He kicked everything yesterday?
No, so he kicked a third on Thursday into that 1,200 for the 20%. He's holding the rest versus a trailing stop versus low a day.
Okay.
So he still some. So he's still
Sick.
40%.
So sick. Yeah, Tesla's closed at 1389 today. Crazy. All right.
All right. Let's next.
Carvana.
This is another one of his trades.
All right. So is the blue is where he bought? He bought the support.
He bought up, the following day.
That's great. This is a great trade. So this is the NASDAQ right here. This is everything we're talking about. It's like you just wait for it to come test that uptrend support. You're buying that uptrend support so that if you get stopped out, you're wrong in the trade. That's what you always want to see in the trading. And then he's just kicking into strength here. Perfect. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah. Next we got Jake Fox, another Tesla trade.
Oh, he's just flexing. Oh, my God. bought here around 440. Oh, and then he got shaken out. I think that's a very understandable place to get shaken out when it makes that move from like 860 to 700. So if I'm long from 440, I'm up nearly 100% in like 2 weeks. That's fine to get shaken out of stock. He jumped back 815. Oh my God, he is bullish on Tesla. He jumped back at 815 and added at 950. That's nuts to me. I mean, I'm glad it worked out, but
So I was talking to him on the side, and the Tesla 2000 was like, okay, that's when everyone starts getting giddy. But for him, I was like, where are you trailing it? I'm trailing it versus the 7 day. And I'm like, look, he's up 40% in a week. Like the 7 day is not relevant in this type of trade. Like, you got to up this stop a little bit. So he's trailing some versus the low a day, and the rest he's giving a little bit of room. That was just a little side note that.
I feel like this Tesla is going to create the worst habits in traders, because like the saying of random rewards, where it's like, oh, I made fucking 80% in a week. It's like,
because what's funny is we had Tommy Brander, the last one, who also has a Tesla trade bad trade. So it's like 3 different members all have the same trade review, all good trades, all of them wanting it. Jake saying it's going to 2,000. Everyone else up 40% a week. It's like, seems a little.
Well, here's the thing about Tesla and what this run is really about is that their deliveries are really good. So if they have another profitable quarter, they're finally eligible for the S&P 500. So that's what people are really preparing themselves for, and then they have to be included in all the hedge funds and all that shit. So that's what this run is more so about than anything else. But all right, let's keep moving to the next one.
Next we got Cassie Roderick, CRSP.
Casey. All right, it's CRISPR. This is a sick name. And shouts out to Link called this out way back when. So she bought this 67, sold half into this huge 3-day up move, and she's still holding half. Wow, that's sick. Do you know where her trailing stop is?
I do not, but we're going to hope, or we're going to make sure that by tomorrow it's going to be low a day or prior low day, because it's a little 10% day. It's not
right.
bad.
These things are nice. All right, where we at? Did CRISPR?
Last one we got Tommy Branner, his Tesla trade.
I want to hear a bad trade out of Tommy. He only comes through to flex on us, and that goes for call too. But yeah, he bought this new support. I mean, this is like a once in a lifetime trade. Enjoy it, but I don't think it's it's something you should get used to. But yeah, he bought this new support. We saw this. It put a pivot in at the previous high. So it turned this resistance right here into new support. That's what he was buying off of. And then, sell into strength and get stopped at a last third or whatever it may be holding. All right, good shit.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I mean, let's see, what do I got? Nothing, no 40%ers.
Nothing? Trash.
So we'll do a little update on the BMRN. Again, we talked earlier about the $100 psychological level. This is one we bought up through 96. We added up through 100. We know the macro level was that $100 area, so that's where the stop is. And again, we're aiming for that retest of 150. That's my first spot where I'm going to look to take some off, and that would be for a 50% gain. But for now, up 27% and just holding that break-even stop. Next, we got this Ions, was a trade a week that we've both been kind of watching for a bit. Bought up through 60, stop was 58. It held that level perfectly, came right back up to 60. Added to it, and now it's still kind of battling with this 60, 62 area, and eventually I would say once it clears 62, then I can start upping that stop on 58 to break even, and then just see how long that we can hold on to that one for. And then we got UNH. UNH was another one we've been watching for a bit. I bought up off of support back end of May, early June through 284, and then added up to this 300, which has been this kind of resistance level we've been keeping an eye on, but it's just not ready as of yet. For now, still the stop's going to be 284. That's been the area that's been holding. So these are some trades that are kind of just in motion and still kind of in the area where I've been buying.
Yeah.
What about you, Shake?
So it's been kind of tough. I was mentioning the NASDAQ and where we really started loading up. I mentioned this ABT right here. So I bought that off their lows, and then when they put in these 2 inside days, I added right here through this 90 area. So I had a sick position. I took a ton of profit, though, most of it off the table Thursday, Friday, just kind of feeling the ebbs and flows. Like, I think I'll get another chance to buy the stock back down at 90. And we've just seen this market chop so much that, one mistake I was making earlier the last few months was that I was just like, the stock looks so good, so I'm not going to kick it. But knowing that we're in more of this choppy uptrend and kind of feeling the ebbs and flows of it, I kicked a lot the last 2 days, while the weekly chart still looks amazing for it. Still is just a flag, but I think I'll get another chance to buy this 90.89 area. So that's kind of what I'm focusing on. And similar with this Oracle, where it's like we bought through these highs, 54.60 right here. I'm not killing this thing on a risk reward basis, but I took a lot off in this below this 56.80 area. Just kind of same deal where it's like I'm anticipating a pull back a little bit. This team was sick. Oh, who called this out? Drew Brubman called this out. Called it sick day. I bought 177.50 versus 175 right here on this on the dip, buying the dip. And then I took most off. I took some off Friday here and yesterday on the hammer. This comes down, retest this 180. I'll look to buy again. Same shit. I'm kind of sitting in this PPD. Looks good. Just sitting against this 26 area. Looks like it's ready to blast off soon. What else? Oh, and then the heartbreaker of the week is this XLNX. Holy shit. So the best one became the worst one. But what I did well, so I bought this June 29th, this small pivot. And we were talking about this in the last chart talk. And I sold 2/3 between 97 and 98.50 because it was an after hours move. So I was like, fuck it. And then the next day it comes in, it puts in a low of 94.21 and a high of 99.40. So a nice little range there. And that was on an earnings announcement. So to me, on an earnings announcement like that, I'm going to keep my stop at the low of the gap. Now, that might have been a mistake in this trade. I don't really think it's the wrong thing to do going forward. I didn't want to keep that stop at 90 where I originally had it for that first trade because I thought I had a new trade on my hand because they moved up on a news catalyst of they're releasing earnings early. So I got taken out here on this 94, and then what does the stock do? The stock looks so good now, back above 100. So very, very frustrating in that sense. But, I think I traded that very well for what happened. I sold 2/3 for 7-8 to 1 risk reward in like 3 hours. And then I got stopped out for a gain on the last bit when it fell into the gap. And then, of course, that's when it turns around. I think this name looks really good going forward. But yeah, I mean, it kind of happens. And then this week I've just been like doing these bullshit day trades, just kind of. I think this market's going to pull in and give us a great buyable opportunity. So I don't want to be, even if things look good, I don't want to be getting in swing trades right now. Today and yesterday, I just don't want to do it. Because it's kind of the pattern I've fallen in where it's like you look at this June 10th area, and I got smoked in the June 10th. And then that when we had that first pull in, ended up being a buyable dip. I was just holding way too much stock. So I see the same qualities in the market happening now. So I'm just trying to be hands off until I feel we're in a buyable position. So that's really it for me.
Even before when you mentioned like some of those like those bad trades that give new traders like the conviction to kind of do foolish things. It's like what you mentioned with XLNN, that
XLNX.
second pulled back, XLNX, yeah. The second day when it pulled back into that gap, like for it to really reverse like that, 9 times out of 10, it's more than likely going to fill the gap or go back to 90.
Yeah, completely.
So it's
brutal.
like it's one scenario. Yeah, the next day it had a little inside day and then it ripped up. But it's like in most cases, that's not going to happen. And even you look at this name, you look back over the last couple of years, the last year of trading, a lot of those big down days, the following days that followed it were continuous big red days. This was like one of those, exemptions for the rule. But again, you still murder that trade. So
yeah,
you can't win them all. I think next we got what, top idea?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
All right, so I got 3. I got this EXPD through 78 that's been flagging since pretty much mid 2018, pretty clear and defined level. Got this KMB, same thing, flagging since mid 2019, 145 area. And then also this AutoZone, AZO, through that 1160.
Nice.
Now they've been flagging, for a year plus. Those are the 3 ones with some clear defined resistance levels to keep an eye on.
Nice.
What about you?
So as I said, I'm waiting for the pullback. So I just kind of have a list of pullback names. And another thing we have to factor is that earnings season starts next week, July 14th. It starts with the banks. It doesn't really get fun until the first few weeks in. But the last few weeks before earnings season, I don't do a ton usually. So, but I have my pullback list that I like, and LITE. If I get another chance at this one in the 78, I like that one a lot. I like Roku. I think Roku, once it breaks through this like huge, massive resistance level. I think this one's a race back to highs as well. What else? Roku Light. Oh, I mentioned ABT. That's on my list to on the pullback. If I get another chance between 88 and 90, I'm buying that thing. And then XLNX. That's another one that's on my list. I think that'll be. They pre-released earnings for the quarter, saying they were going to be great. So I'm just going to keep watching that one until it falls into a buy territory. But you kind of see what I'm doing. It's like I'm finding my favorite names, and I'm finding the buy areas where I should be looking to buy them instead of just kind of depending on momentum every day to be there.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
All right, where we go from here?
Next, we have book of the week.
All right, cool. All right, Bennett, book of the week. What do you got for me?
I got The Tipping Point. So, little funny backstory. We all have books, piles of books that we've read, piles of books that we haven't read. So I have a pile of books I haven't read, maybe 100 books. And I'll randomly go through and I'll grab one, and that'll be the book that I'll start to read. Of course, the first chapter on this is the laws of an epidemic, and it breaks down in detail the key factors of what helps pandemics kind of take off. And this example we're talking about is a small town in the Midwest that back in the 80s they had this syphilis outbreak. 100 people get it in the town of 6,000, but if you say 100 people get it, it's not that scary. So they said there's a 500% increase when really it was just a small group of heavy drug users who were getting it, but the whole town went in a frenzy and they all kind of went a little crazy. But it was a funny first example. For the first 50 pages, breaks it down, and just funny for what we're going through. Very relevant. What about you? What are you reading?
So I'm not really reading this right now. I'm still reading Good to Great, but this is a classic right here. The 4-Hour Work Week. And I know it's something we implemented with our business really well. It's by Tim Ferriss, and it's all about pretty much outsourcing your business and things like that to give you the most time so that you can work most efficiently. And we've just seen it ourselves. The more people we hire, the more time we have to give to our members or to give to trading or to give to a sales or whatever. So it's just a good book that kind of teaches you how to start a business, how to run a business. Yeah, I mean, just good knowledge on how to outsource.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
All for it. And with that, what's up?
I just got Lucky's just chilling here. Just wanted to get him in.
What's up, Luck? All right, with that, we outie. Fuck this shit.
See you guys.